All right, welcome back. Before we get to the phone lines here at 412-575-2600, some news about baseball. It looks like players and owners have made it at least the first steps toward agreement. This year you're going to see 7-inning doubleheaders. That will continue. Runner starting at second base in extra innings. That will continue, but no universal DH. Chris, I didn't see any late word on how many games we're talking about or when the season will start. I don't know if that's been decided yet, but the players wanted all 162. The owners offered 154 at full 162 pay, which I don't understand why players would have a problem with that.
I think the players seem to have the problem with the expanded playoffs here. What I don't get is baseball seems to cling, Bob, to its traditions, right? Like it sort of likes things the way they are. Well, 7-inning doubleheaders, that's not really traditional. Starting a runner on second base a la beer league softball, who brings the keg, the home or the away team, for that 10th inning? That's not traditional. And yet the thing that's been around for almost 50 years in baseball apparently still isn't going to extend to the entirety of the sport. I think that the 7-inning doubleheaders are actually necessary. I have no problem with that. It might actually speed up the games and get younger fans to watch more. I got no real issue with the extra inning stuff, with starting a runner on second base, again, in the name of getting these games done faster. I just don't understand why the DH, which should be in the National League, should be universal, is still left on the table here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want that bat. I'm tired of watching pitchers bat and be an automatic out. I thought after last year they would do it, and so far that's not been the case. One other baseball note, I'm so in admiration of Yadier Molina. We spent a lot of time talking about Tom Brady, Chris, but man, this guy's at 38 years of age, and he's going to sign off for one more year with St. Louis, and they're going to have another stacked lineup once again. But 38 with all the innings he's caught, 9 Gold Gloves. You talk about wear and tear on a body. 38 is if you talk about catchers' lives, it's probably like 68 years of age. That's amazing to me.
Well, he also, think about this too, he's a guy who plays, I believe, a lot of ball in the Caribbean in the offseason. So it's not like he's necessarily even taking a traditional offseason a lot of the time. Very impressive player. One problem I have with Molina, and it's not with him per se, it's Cardinals fans overrate him to an insane degree, like they wouldn't trade another player in baseball for him. I've actually seen that put out there. That might be the lunatic fringe, but not even the craziest fans should say some of the stuff that I read about Molina. He is, I think, a Hall of Famer pretty obviously, but come on, people, pump the brakes here. If they offered you Mike Trout for Molina, I think you'd take the deal.
Let's go to the lines. We got Sarah in Shadyside kicking us off tonight. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
How are you doing, Paul?
Good, thanks.
Happy New Year, late, because it's the first time I talked to you this year. I'm curious, since the Super Bowl was held in Tampa Bay, has this ever happened in the NFL where a Super Bowl was held and that particular franchise team had won the same Super Bowl year?
This is the first time that's happened, but, New York had an opportunity when they hosted, but it's never happened. This is the first time.
And that is the first time. I had no idea if this ever had happened in NFL history.
Yep, you saw history.
It was rigged,
yesterday.
Actually, for Tom Brady. That was the problem. It was rigged. They rigged it for Brady. The whole thing was rigged. The game was over before it started. Did the Niners win one in the Bay Area, or am I crazy here?
Yeah, but it wasn't at their home. I don't think it was at their home stadium, was it?
No, it was in their general area. It was at Stanford Stadium, I believe. But this is the first time in a home stadium a team actually played and, of course, won.
Bill in Baldwin joins us right now on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Chris. Bob, you stole most of mine in the beginning. I agree. Devin White should have been the MVP. Todd Bowles just did a fantastic job. That D-line had Mahomes running at every snap. It was like he snapped the ball and he was already on the run. I mean, the weak offensive line had something to do with that, but I can't believe that Bowles' play calling didn't just, devastate the cities.
Well, here's what he did. And he did it the first game, but they got burnt by Hill so badly that it didn't matter. Bowles was smart. He didn't blitz him really in the first game because that's a recipe for disaster against Mahomes, and he didn't blitz him in this game, and he let his guys go to work, and to their credit, they did. Here's a stat. Mahomes ran 497 yards. So from the time he snapped the ball on pass plays, he accumulated 497 yards covered before he threw the ball. That's the highest total in the NFL this year. Second highest, Mahomes against the Raiders when they actually lost in the regular season at 495. I don't think that's a coincidence. I also think that Byron Leftwich was tremendous too from a play calling perspective. That was a team that did no risk it, no biscuit all year, and they averaged like 8.5 yards per attempt or whatever, just a crazy amount of yards downfield. And what did they do early on? We're going to pass it short. We're going to get little tight end screens going, and we're going to take advantage of that defense and how bad they are at tackling, which they were, and it worked. I thought it was perfectly called by both Bowles and Leftwich for Tampa Bay.
And they also set up the play-action game, which is alive and well, and if you want to utilize it,
What's
even
that?
if you're not effective at it, Chris, they had 145 yards rushing, but even if you're not effective at it, you can still use it to your advantage, but if you don't even try it, it can't work. And Brady's 3
What's the
touchdown
play
passes.
action, Bob? I don't know what the play action is.
we
I've
haven't
never
seen
heard of
it
it,
around
not
here.
familiar with it.
But
I'll ask Ben
it's
Roethlisberger
terrific.
what it is, see if he knows what it is.
Well, he
Probably
better,
not,
he
though.
better start using it to his advantage. I think they all need to do that. Meantime, I thought Kansas City was ridiculous in that they didn't help their 2 tackles out. They didn't chip. They didn't do a lot of things that I thought they might do to help those guys. And as a result, 497. You think about it, and most of that was running backwards. And before he basically I never saw anything quite like that in a Super Bowl.
Where were the
sure.
screens? Where were the screens, the draws, the plays that when you have that kind of skill talent around that just punish teams? I know it's not that simple. I understand there's more complicated stuff in play, but they really didn't. Andy Reid did absolutely nothing to slow that rush down. You can either chip like you said, or you can make a team pay even if they're only rushing 4 with some plays that get behind those guys rushing upfield. And Kansas City just did not do any of that. They never committed to trying to run the ball, none of it.
I was surprised. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was healthy, and he was a big force for them early, and they never went to him later in the season when he was healthy. I thought that was a mistake. Howie joins us right now on the Sports Call. Hey, Howie, how are you?
Okay, Bob. I read you the Times, Chris. And I've seen...
I didn't hear. Hold on, I didn't catch that. What did you say?
He said he reads you.
I read you in the
Oh,
Times.
you read me in the Times. I thought he was leading me to the pines because he had, he wanted to take me out for my bad opinions. Well, thank you for reading in the Times. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was the most boring game I've ever seen, I think. And I've seen high school games that were more exciting. And while I'm on the subject, George Bland played till he was 50 years old.
I don't know about 50, but I thought he was close. Wasn't he like 46 or 7? I don't know. Did he reach 50?
No, he was 50. Okay.
Brady looks like he could play at least several more seasons, by the way.
No,
would it be crazy if he played till he was 46 or 47?
No.
In the absence of a major injury, I don't see why he wouldn't.
No, and he looks younger. He looks like he's defying the odds. And listen, after he's done, get into a GT.
He's had a little
modeling
aftermarket
career.
work done here, Pomp.
Well, that's
I mean,
okay.
he looks younger
When
because
you have that kind of
they
money
took
that
him into
she
the
has.
body shop and yeah, they took him into the body shop and did a little trim work here. I mean, the guy was going bald early in his career. Let's not act like he found the fountain of youth. He found a couple good doctors with sharp scalpels here.
And, when you have a model wife who makes more than you do, you can afford to spend some of her money, too, to help. And because, that's when they're all done, they're going to be on the cover of every glamour magazine there is. All right, we got more calls on the way. But right now, it's time for our Tri-State Office Furniture Tweet of the Night. And this one comes to us from Eugene Di Pasquale, who says this, and this is about baseball. Take a look at this if you can. If you see this and wonder, who is that player named Pittsburgh Pirates who's next to last on the list? You fell for a trick. A full 12 players make more than the entire Pirates team this year, and Chris Sale just fired his agent. We've been talking about this. All these guys, starting with Trevor Bauer. We'll get into this rotation, but it's ridiculous. You got Bauer, you got Clayshaw, you have Walker Buehler, you have, who am I missing? David Price, you have May,
They got
Urias,
everybody.
everyone.
What's
It's
the
unbelievable. How are they going to lose a series? And if they do, you have to ask yourself, how is it possible that they could lose a series? We got to take a break. We'll come back and discuss that and more right here live on Pittsburgh CW.